Hello, hello. How are you, everyone? Good morning, good
Hi,
afternoon, and good evening. We're live.
hello.
Women in business. Karibuni, karibuni tena. Welcome our audience. We are here to talk to you. We are women in business. My name is Priscilla. Let everyone introduce themselves. My name is Priscilla Wanjeri. I live in South Australia. I am a mom to two girls, and I'm a school teacher. Can someone else jump in and introduce themselves?
Wacha tusikue nini walafi sana. Let's get Betty to do it.
Hi, the other side of the ocean. Uh,
Yes.
Hi, good morning. It's a good morning from me. I'm in the UK. I'm originally from Kenya, and my name is Betty. I'm a mom of two girls, and I'm a wife, and I'm a successful online business owner, and I'm also a coach. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi guys. It's good evening for me. My name is Shiro, or some people know me as Priscilla. I'm a mom of two. I'm a wife, and currently, right now, I don't even say. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm a mom of three girls.
I'm like, what?
I know. I think because you guys say it too, and I'm wondering. Oh God, I'm
And
a
I
mom of
almost
three
said
girls.
it. Yeah.
I think I've forgotten the older one because she's just having her own life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, I'm a mom of three. I'm a wife, and right now I don't even say what I do because I'm currently on maternity leave. So that's what I'm actually doing. But I'm also a successful digital business owner, and I'm a digital business mentor.
And that's
Yeah,
full job. That's a full-time job.
I
Being
tell you. I
yeah.
tell you. Oh, and I forgot to say I'm originally from Kenya, but right now I live in Canberra, Australia.
Karibuni. Karibuni nyote. Welcome to everyone who's going to join us today for this live. As you know, we meet once a week. We congregate here on Facebook and we welcome everyone. Mkuje hapa Facebook mujione. And every week we talk about what we do. We're business owners. We run digital businesses. We're mentors. And Betty is a coach. And Priscilla and the other Priscilla, we're mentors. And we mentor people to start and run successful digital businesses. And now, today, our topic of the day, this Saturday, I was going to say this Friday, is we're going to talk about our own experiences and we're going to talk to you about challenges. As you can see from our topic, we'll be talking about the challenges we've gone through. Does anyone feel like I'm just repeating myself? The challenges we went through, the challenges we go through before we started our digital business that kind of catapulted or launched us in the direction that we're now in our business. As yeah, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Naona ni kama nimekanganywa na maneno.
It's all right. Kizungu ilikuja na meli. It's fine.
So yeah, we'll talk about our challenges, what we went through, and what brought us to this digital business. Betty, if you don't mind, I throw you under the bus here.
The bus, right under the bus.
Yeah, straight under the bus, and I just ask you if you could take us away and just could you share a little bit
Yeah.
about your life, how it was like before you changed, before you started this business, and the transformation you went through after.
Yeah, sure. So I always like to start by saying this. I think I've said this hundreds of times now, but I
Yeah,
always like to start this by this because this is not the first time I'm doing the transformation topic
yeah,
online or having this discussion. But I always like to say personally, this business is the best thing that ever happened to me because it is not just the money side of things. You know,
yeah,
there is so many things that I have grown into thanks to being into this system. So going back before April 2019, way back, at least here we are all here from Kenya, right? And
mm,
in our community, we are now heading to hitting 200,000 soon. Yeah. In our community, we have seen people from all walks of lives. Yeah. And when you look at somebody like us, the diaspora people, we left our countries to come in this part of the world to make our lives better. Yeah. To, to make more money, to
Yep.
help the family back home. Whatever that brought you into this part of the world is, and we are so many, we all have something in common, that we left our home country. We left what we've always known to come here.
Yeah.
But I think, unfortunately, when we are being told, enda majuu, kunakuanga na mazuri. We are never told about the cons. The pros are there, kuna do, utatengeneza pesa, but we have never been told exactly how do you make this money. You've never been told exactly how, once
Yeah.
you get here, what are you, because there is always something that you're exchanging with in exchange of making this money.
True.
And I think for me, when I got here, I first of all had that culture shock of where do I start? How do I speak? Where do I start looking for these jobs and stuff? And I remember when we finally moved from, because we came and we lived in Germany for a little bit, and then we came over here, because at the time my husband was in the army. So when we moved in the UK, that is when the point dropped for me. I'm like, hiya. So this money is not like just where you go and find it. You have to
Yeah.
really work, And I just got, I got a mental breakdown and confused and anxious. And I'm thinking, yani mimi niliacha watu home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really want this to work, but nothing is working. At the same time, guys,
Mm.
I had a 0 months old baby.
Oh no.
So my husband is here and anatoka kazi, because that's the time he was leaving the army. And I'm here with a baby. So you can imagine I'm breastfeeding, and I'm telling my husband, we will both look for a job. Whoever gets a job first leaves the other one with the baby. If it's me,
Yeah.
wewe utajua venye utafanya. That is when the coin dropped for me. And then I've always been into businesses. So I was thinking, oh, no, actually, naweza tafuta kabiashara nifanye, which it never worked for me. So you can
Yeah.
imagine all that confusion where, hata kama ningepata job, it's really hard for a mother, even though unajua utamwacha na babake, it's really hard for you as a mother to just go.
Yeah.
And then nothing really worked. I actually tried other businesses before this business, guys. Nothing worked. I got conned. Really, I lost a lot of money. And then, unfortunately, I ended up getting employed. The very thing I didn't want to. I got employed. Luckily, I got employed by a good company. It was a bank. And that is where I was working when I saw this business. So you can imagine the challenges of, at this time, Olivia was a little bit older. She was at
Yeah.
least 1 year plus. So you can imagine the challenges of rush hour in the morning, getting stuck in the traffic. You've gone to work, and then I was working for a 0 contract hour. So I don't know if you guys have it there, but here is where usipoenda job leo hutalipwa.
Yes. Hiyo tuko nayo.
Yes. So you only get paid when you go to work. So you're somehow enslaved into that system.
Yeah.
Where yes, I've got leave days, because I think we had like 25 days leave. But hizo leave days si ati ni ile leave unachukua kama uko employed permanently uende alafu na bado utalipwa. Ukienda leave enda, lakini hizo siku umeenda leave hautalipwa. So it means that you have to go and work really, really hard for you to supplement for these days that you're not there. I think for me, it really hit home when I lost my grandmother and I had to go home. I had traveled to Kenya. Kuna mtoto mdogo, sina savings. And mazishi home ni like last minute thing.
Yeah.
Yani, yes. So I just got so confused. Hatungeenda holidays. Ile job na yeye bwanangu alipata ilikuwa job ya atuonani. I was just, when you sit back and you're thinking, did I make a mistake coming into this part of the world? Kwa sababu home, unaweza achia watu, mtoto.
Yeah.
I was like, did I make a mistake coming in this part of the world? And I just got upset from there. I remember my children calling me a grumpy mom. Kwa sababu a job, unarudi jioni, umechoka, na kazi it was so sensitive because it was all customer related. Anybody who works in the bank, they know. When you're dealing with customers, you have to be absolutely careful and, really, really good, really keen to details.
Yeah.
kwa sababu even the smallest thing of calling a Mrs. a Miss, or a Miss a Mrs. or a Mrs. who has recently divorced, and you call them, unfortunately you call them a Mrs. and they're supposed to be a Miss.
Offense.
That
Oh,
is like, they will,
tricky.
yes, they will take you all the way. So you can
Yeah.
imagine, mpaka saa zingine unaota na hiyo job, you're dreaming,
Imagine.
na hiyo address ilikuwa ni hiyo kwe, na umelala. And then when you even want to take that holiday, you're out
Yeah.
there, you don't know what is going on in work. Saa zingine watu walikuwa wanakuja job, ukifika kwa, we all had a pass where when you click it, the doors open. So if you come in and you click and the doors are not opening, it just simply means that you have been fired.
Oh,
They won't even tell you it was that
no,
bad.
it tells you.
No, it is because you have made so many mistakes with with the things that the claims that you're doing, that they can't take it anymore, because every mistake you do, the organization gets fined.
Yeah.
So yes. So you can imagine, hata wakati hauko job, you're still in the back of your mind, you're still thinking about. And I was like, what kind of life is this? Yes, I was making not enough money, but at least a decent salary, but not enough to give us the things that I have always wanted.
Yeah.
Ingewahi enda holiday. I was looking at my neighbors, nasikia wakisema, oh, tunaenda Mexico, tunaenda Spain. Nashindwa, watu wana waste pesa. Kumbe si ati ni hivyo ndivyo nafikiria. I am just comforting myself thinking, nikapata pesa kama hiyo ningefanya kitu ingine nayo, but I don't have it. So for me to comfort my family, I'm thinking, do we really have to do that? If they are going there for sunshine, but we have sunshine here in summer. And then I was like, enough is enough, and I'm going to look for something else. So when I saw this business, I was very shy. I couldn't do what we are doing now. So that's why I said it's a transformation, not only financially, but also personal life. It brings that certainty and that happiness where you feel like you have a purpose.
Yeah.
Saa hizi Saturday saa kama hii ningekuwa nimeenda job ndio nitengeneze tu pesa kidogo, ama nimeenda Amazon delivery, ilikuwa nafanya hivyo, nilikuwa nachukua gari nafanya delivery, maybe watu wa huko hata wananijua, na shinanga ule mchana alikuwa anatuletea package zetu, siku hizi haleti. It was just awful. So for me, I think, first of all, let me talk about the challenges first before we go into the transformation. Yeah.
Wow. That was really interesting listening to all that. And we have so many similarities, honestly. Ukishakuja majuu, you think life will be something else, and then it turns out to be something else that you never know about until ufike huku. Like, it's not a bad place to be. It has its own pros and cons, but the cons are unexpected, I think. Na zinakuanga so shocking, honestly. Maybe Shiro, you can share with us some of your challenges. What was life like for you before you started an online business? Maybe we can refresh our viewers' minds, wasikie wajilie wenyewe.
I know. Well, thanks for that. Mimi, by the way, things I think have been, I've known myself, and you're out there. I've always wanted, nimetaka biashara sana, my own thing, having my own thing where I don't have to answer to anyone. So for me, my challenge, one of my biggest challenge is not starting this sooner than I would have wanted.
Yeah.
Because I tell people, Betty told me about it 4 years, now 5 years ago. Mimi nikalalia masikio, I ignored her. And my biggest challenge and my biggest regret is if only I knew, I would have started it then, because Saizo, I was here. I didn't even have a job.
Yeah.
So I could have spent the time I was spending, watching, familiarizing myself with Australian TV, which is actually, sorry to say this, most of the programs are trashy. They don't have good programs like back home. So the time I wasted watching, familiarizing myself on Australian TV, time I got lost in looking for bus stops, because I had to go and look for where the bus is, where do I pick a bus, where do I stop, where do I get home, things like that. I would have used them to do this. I would have been very far. So that is one of my biggest challenge, not believing in myself. And I would have done it if only I had listened to Betty. And my other biggest challenge is that when I was back home, I used to work, I used to have a very nice job. and I loved my job. So people thought that when I came here, I would directly transition to the same job.
Same position and just carry on.
Exactly. What they don't realize is that the moment you're not a citizen of this country, some jobs you cannot do them.
Yeah, kuna access.
Huwezi fanya hizo kazi, so ni uanze kutafuta kazi kwingine, na saa hizo wewe you're very good, you're so you're so good at your job, you can get a job. Sasa ni kuanza kutafuta kazi. You take your CV, you send your CV, you go into Seek, this wherever website called Seek, where you put in your CV and all. People are not responding to you.
Yeah.
Then you start asking your question, what is wrong with me? I mean, my CV is so good, I have this job. People are not responding to you. You cannot find a job. So the only thing I did is the moment I found a job is I had to take myself out there. I had to make sure that I go and deliver my CV myself.
Yeah.
That is how I got the job. And the job that I got is, like Betty said, it's casual.
Yes.
Casual ni uende kazi, yes, unalipwa per hour, lakini usipoenda haulipwi. Hauna sick leave because uko casual, na hauna rec leave kwa sababu uko casual. So ukichukua leave, ukitaka kwenda holiday, ukitaka kwenda mahali na familia yako, you have those days, you don't earn anything.
Yeah.
So, that's the biggest challenge, because you're telling yourself, you are so used back home. You even start asking yourself, why did I leave? Kwa nini nilikuja huku?
Yeah.
Na nyumbani I had a good one. Kwa nini nilitoka? But at the end of the day, most of us, it's, mnaambiango once ukishaolewa, where the head goes, the shoulder, I mean the neck also follows. So the head came back home because this is his home, and for me being the neck, I had to follow. Otherwise, we become severed, which is not very nice. So that was also a biggest challenge, finding a job. Not finding a job here. So for me, not finding a job also made me. And then you find a job, and then you're not used to waking up to an alarm clock. That alarm inalia, snooze.
Inakusinya kabisa.
Inakusinya kabisa. So the moment you have that alarm, and then you're going to answer to somebody, and then you always try your best. You try your best to do the best work. Sometimes somebody doesn't recognize that you're doing the best you can. Ama, you do so much, and you do so much, it's not recognized. You work yourself so hard.
Someone else takes the credit.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And then you have to always answer to somebody who does not appreciate what you're doing. And so those are some of the challenges, especially, people back home will tell you, some people will ask us, Nambono ulienda, why did you go? The same challenges we face here Maju, people don't realize that the same challenges that we face back home. Looking for jobs is the same thing. Kama tungekuwa nyumbani Kenya, unamaliza uni, you start looking for a job. It's the same here. You come to Maju, the moment you land here, don't think you'll get employment pap. You start tamaking, whether you're a doctor, you're a nurse. In fact, doctors, nurses, lazima ufanye ile medical board exam.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't recognize it. Mimi, I'm a teacher. I'm actually a teacher. I also did a bachelor in counseling psychology. But before I can ever practice, I have to go and take my papers to a department that has to, verify them, check them. And some of the units, I'm very sure nitaambiwa nirudie because they don't meet the standards here.
Are you senior?
So, yeah, exactly. Those are some of the challenges you face. And then another thing ni childcare. Kupeleka mtoto childcare. Aki, let me tell you, you yourself as the mother, you find yourself crying because sometimes you are forced to go to work because this child is so young. You have to go. Hakuna mtafanya nini? Na bills zinawangoja, huko bills mnatumiwa every fortnight. So lazima mtaenda kazi, mtoto upeleke childcare. Kila wiki unatumiwa na childcare message nakwambia, by the way, utajua kuna direct debit inatoka for childcare paying, and it's not cheap. Whether you're a permanent resident or a citizen, it's not cheap at all. So those are some of the things that made me, push myself out there. And I told myself, if I have to do this, because one thing, I don't have to use so much for a startup, and I also have to do something for myself.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do something for myself, then when will I ever do it? And you have to take risks. because the same way that I started this biashara is the same way I would have said, wacha niende nikaanze a hotel somewhere. Same
Yeah.
challenges,
Yeah.
you know. So I decided to do something for myself because that's the only thing I can do and push on, you know.
Mm.
Yeah,
I,
and sometimes
mm,
you just want to also help your partner and also want to, especially if you're used to being independent. Hii mambo
yeah.
ya kuambia mtu nipe, it doesn't sit well with most of us.
Yeah.
You want your something. So
Want
for
your
me,
something.
exactly. So for me, I wasn't going to just sit there. You just want to be able to have something for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, I've
Mhm.
I've loved all your shares. There's some similarities, imagine, with my own personal story and what you said. Viewers, thank you so much for joining in. We are just here, women in business, and we're talking about the challenges that we encountered, the challenges we were going through that made us take a step forward to start a digital business. And so far we've talked about childcare, we've talked about going to jobs like salaried job that is not, it's giving you some money but it's not really fulfilling you 100%. And then you feel also that you just need something else for yourself. And I think a few other topics are probably left back there. I think personally for myself, I can dive into what you've talked about childcare. And childcare was a big deal for me, honestly.
Mhm.
And it's still a big deal even to date, because now that I'm in this digital business, as we all know, businesses operate when you put into them. And I've actually now I've come to the, like, not realization, I've decided I need to work one extra day so that I can use that to drive my business forward. Now, the story of 2 weeks ago, even, is it 2 or 3 weeks ago? Like I need a casual day. It's not actually even a tea. Let me mutigo deka. I needed a casual day because I want to work an extra day so that I can, pump pump some resources into my business. And then I sit there, I type an email to childcare, and I even talk to them face to face. Gamera, simunipatia one extra day so that I can bring my kid over, so that I can go work, so that I can,
Yeah.
process. Makadomira Marua, they send me a letter and they tell you, oh, I'm so sorry, we can't give you a casual booking. And you go, what do you mean? Another week, oh, we are so sorry, we can't give you a casual booking. So you really want to drive yourself forward, but it's like you're limited. It's either you have kids or you don't have kids. As in, understand because the system is not really empowering them to even grow their own population. Honestly,
That's true.
It's true.
there's
Mm-hmm.
no empowerment to have kids, and then they try to encourage you to stay at home. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But I found that it wasn't funny, but I just found that interesting. Urenda kuruta wira, kazi iko, lakini hauwezi juu hauna hiyo opportunity hata ya kupeleka mtu. Si hivyo ni, so that, or okay, that
Yeah.
in itself was a challenge after starting my business. So I was able to, like, relax, and there were other ways I could go about it. But I know for sure if I did not have, like, something else that I'm doing, this digital business, that would have been another whole story
Mm.
of annoyance, anger, and just wondering what is going on. But anyway, that aside, maybe I can share some of my own personal challenges. Well, other than well, childcare was one of my challenges before I started this digital business. And for me, it was also travel. Travel is a big deal. And it's not travel just, like, honestly, we live in a beautiful country. Australia is, although it has so many dangerous creatures everywhere, but I've never seen it's beautiful, and we live very close to beautiful islands. We have Fiji over here, we have Bali,
Yeah.
Asian countries, and you want to get on these planes and you go travel. Like, what is the point? Kutembea huku kwote alafu tu ukuje usimamie hapo na hutembei huku kwingine. So
Mhm.
for me, travel is a big deal, and I really want to see what else is out here around this neighborhood, like these Asian countries.
Yeah.
So That's one thing I'd like to explore. I'd like to go to Fiji and stay, not just 2 days, 3 days. I'd like to stay for 2, 3 weeks, ujione vizuri. When the Bali, when the beyond where people go, the normal tourists, ujione vizuri, utembee huko Indonesia, utembee huko Japan, utembee huko China. Hata nina makazi in China. Habari zenyu huko China. You just go around and walk around. I would really love, I would enjoy doing that. And for me, other than the story that I've shared before of wanting something else to do, I was never geared into business, but I just knew after coming here and living that salaried life, like a nice salaried job in Kenya, alafu unakuja huku na the same hustles mumonge about hizo za unakuja ukichukua siku no hiyo haulipwi. Mi sikuwahi jione hivyo vyote, like that kind of life I had not experienced it in Kenya. So I was like, what is all this? You take one day, you're not paid.
Yeah.
And your childcare still gets billed in, whether you went in or not.
Yeah.
Then those challenges were really, really annoying. And those are some of the things that really drove me to looking for something, looking for a business. So, Skilizaji, if you're seated out there and you're living a Maju life like us, and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're wondering what else can you do, please sit and listen to us as we go on with our topic, because we are talking about challenges we encountered living abroad and challenges we had before starting digital businesses, and now what our lives are like after starting digital businesses. Maybe Betty, if I can come back to you again, now you can. So now we are comparing and contrasting where we were versus now where we are,
Yeah.
and it could be a few years or however long you want to put it. Karibu.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, so when was it? I think it was last month. I was just preparing one of my hello. I was just preparing one of my posts, one of my videos. The videos
Yeah,
that we used to, how we do our business. We do through attraction marketing. And when I was doing that video, I actually really, really wanted to speak to people who closely hit home, like me.
yeah,
That video I started. By the day, you are maybe a doctor, a lawyer, an administrator, a teacher, whatever you are. And then by the night, you become a cleaner, you become a carer, you become all those other side hustles that we do, delivery drivers and all those. And the reason why I started that like that is because I wanted to show and I wanted to connect with those people who
yeah.
genuinely know that they do not have time for themselves.
Mm,
Time is also one of the things that we never have here. I've had so many back and forth conversations with friends where they are like, siku hizi hata upatikanangi. Siku hizi kwani
yeah,
majuu, siku hizi kwani hata upatikanangi. But what people don't know is that these people don't have time. If you go into our community, we have Franco. Franco used to do 5 jobs.
yeah.
And now he has quit all those jobs. And it is
Imagine.
because we believe in this business. Yeah.
Thank you.
So for us, it's not just about the challenges we had. It is also about realizing that you have got those challenges and actually wanting to do something about them.
Mm.
Wanting to work and wanting to take action against these challenges.
Mm,
And that is why I said from the beginning, this business is the best thing that ever happened to me. Because if I never took that challenge, if I never overcame my fear, I would
yeah,
still be right now I would still be out there maybe delivering. Maybe I would be doing other jobs. Maybe I would be cleaning somewhere. I don't know. But
yeah,
why I said that there is also the personal development side of things in this business is because it was one of the main things for me. So once the business became where now I went and took action. I now sat down and said, you know what, right, here I am. I've got to
yeah.
work with this. We always do in our business once we join us, there is this something we do. It's called like a vision board where you say, this is what I want to achieve by this time.
Yeah.
You've got to make it realistic anyway, because some of our reasons why they are so big, way
Mm,
big deals. where some people cannot be able to achieve those things until their retirement ages. Things like holidays, things like take it, setting off your loans and credits and mortgages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you've got to make them realistic. But for me, I was thinking, when I look at our community and I'm seeing all these people saying I've paid my mortgage,
Mm.
I did the business 2-3 years ago, I'm thinking, so it is possible that you don't have to work until 68 years for you to get to have this kind of life.
Yeah.
So for me, the first transformation that I got in this business is self-belief. Because so many are times where we don't have self-belief. We don't believe in ourselves.
Yep.
Mm.
Yes, out there you're looking and you're seeing, oh my God, that person is driving a nice car. Wow, I've seen those people going on holiday. Wow, I can see how they're living a nice life. They're spending time with their family. But when someone comes and tells you, actually, did you know that you can also have that? You're thinking, nah, I don't think so.
Unbelievable.
Our minds, our mindset is in such a shallow and small, tight place where you're thinking it can never happen to you. You're thinking because the first thing that you fall back to when you're being told about this, your dream job, your dream house, your dream car, your dream holiday, we always fall back to our current situations.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, how can she tell me I can drive that car when I work, I am an administrator, I work and I get paid, I don't know, £14 per hour, and I have got bills to pay. You're falling back to what you know.
Yeah.
But most of the time we never allow ourselves to see the possibilities. Because when someone comes and tells you, oh, by the way, Priscilla, you've always wanted to go to Fiji. Yes. Actually, do you know you can?
Yes.
First thing
How?
you should say is, actually, yes, I can. But most
Mm.
of the time we ask the same question you've asked, how?
Mm.
Mm.
Have you not posted an ad on Facebook and you're telling people everything that you're doing and you're telling me, actually, you can also have this? And the first thing that people ask you is, how? With my job. With
Yeah, I've
my job,
gotten that
how?
a couple of times actually.
Yeah. So
Just that word.
for me, one of the main things in this business was self-belief. And I have always listened to that lady pastor in Kenya. Now she's a women rep. Her name is Wamurada. Wamurada
Yeah.
says, "Kama ya no kwigorokia na gwituma." Because those things that you want to do, they will
Mm.
never be until you do something differently from what you're doing right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the moment I realized that, I first of all had to dig deep into myself and uproot everything that I know are negative in my life. Like, hi, ndigetekia ninaothondeke mbeca ta icio.
Mm.
Ona gwitũ andũ matakĩrĩ atongu ũguo. Kwanza sisi Wakikuyu,
Yeah.
na mambo za sijui uchawi na nini. Ati, ai, niĩ ona gwitũ gũtakĩrĩ mũndũ mũtongu ũguo ma. Ndingĩtekia
Imagine.
mbeca icio na ũthondeke. You know? Or you start thinking you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mimi na nimetoka Kenya. Sasa hawa watu wakiniona hiyo pesa si wataanza kushindwa nini na you're
Mm.
already cursing yourself. You're already getting yourself out of that line, that pipeline of destiny, right?
Mm.
So for me, I had to first of all challenge myself into believing in myself. And by the way, once you start believing, once you start realizing, actually, I deserve it. Actually, I can, yes, I can also drive a good car. I
Yeah.
can also take my family on holiday. Actually, I can also build my family home. I can also pay off when you start, those things will now start coming in and motivating you and pushing you towards wanting to go to that goal. So
Yeah.
if you sit down and you're thinking, instead of watching this Netflix, let me go and learn something about my business. Let me
Yeah.
go and reply to a few inquiries. Let me actually go and check on my team because you already know that this is something that you're believing in. You already have the evidence. You have seen what it has done for other people. So for me, it started there.
Mm.
And then it slowly started beautifying my life, my family, my pockets, up to where I am. And that is why I always say you should have seen the Betty almost 5 years ago and the Betty now. It's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Because back in that time, it's where I think I was timid, I was naive, and I was in that place where I was thinking, oh, huku majuu ni ukuje tu, because that's how we've been programmed when we are living home. Ukuje
Mm-hmm.
ufanye kazi, ufanye kazi, ufanye mashifts. hivyo ndivyo tuko program.
As
Yep.
many as you can.
Na nikio igwaga andũ aingĩ makiuga atĩrĩrĩ, he niĩ ndionekaga, niĩ no mwetereire rĩrĩa ngainũka wiki igĩrĩ, because that somebody is always working, always,
Yeah.
always working. That's why you hear there is a lot of death and a lot of mental health issues. People never have time for themselves. So when I realized that I deserve better, I changed my prayer, I changed my confessions, I changed how I think, I changed how I see myself, I changed how I view life in general, way before all these other things come in. And once you realize that, the moment you know that, where you will wake up, especially on Mondays, unasikianga watu wakisema ni Monday leo hii siku sitakuwa mrefu. The moment umesema hivyo, you have already destroyed your whole week.
Oh yes.
Why can't you wake up and say it's gonna be a good day?
Yeah.
It is Monday. Nowadays I listen to radio stations, they talk about alilia muthenya waku. What are you telling your day? What are you telling your life? What are you telling you when you look at yourself in the mirror? What do you tell yourself? I am beautiful, I am blessed, money is coming my way. Not tomorrow you get to say, hey, nahana atia kai akaginya ndina matoroto ni maino minoga hiyo minoga yenye unaongea juu yake ndio itafuata throughout. So for me, the self-development side of things in this business has been a tick more than you could ever imagine. And then obviously I have had a beautiful family, the people that I met through this business.
Yeah.
All, I always say to people, I can go to any country in this world, and I'll find somebody who is in the business with me. Now, what do we check?
Oh yeah. Ni kweli.
You will find somebody. Okay, you're in the business. Really? Yes, I am, and we are everywhere. It has opened my eyes into new opportunities, new possibilities.
Yeah.
Yes, and then on top of that, it has now given me another purpose. Because our business is not just about yourself. It is not just about what am I gaining? Me, Betty, what am I gaining? It is also about wanting to build others, wanting to improve other people's lives. So every day when you're thinking about this business, when you're a coach and you're a mentor like yourselves, you're also thinking, that's somebody who I introduced into this business, or that person who is doing this business with you, yes. The first thing you think about them is they are going to make it.
Yeah.
All you want about them, you want the best for them. So we have also been given that other side of business where we have a purpose. You want the best for the other person. And I am always very happy when I see people from all walks of life, but most importantly, the people who are like from where we are. We somehow have the same challenges, background in a way. And mtu anakuja na akianza hii business and they work hard on it, they get committed, they don't give up, and they are patient, maisha yao itakuwa poa.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about that other person. You're always thinking, yes, this is gonna be a good thing for that person. I mean, I could go the whole day about this, but for me, it has been such a blessing. I have come out of the other side, strong. I'm spending more time with my family. Iyo job niliacha, so I am just happy and blessed that I am in this business.
You're no longer a cranky mother.
No, I'm no longer a cranky mom. I'm no longer a grumpy. They used to call me a grumpy mom.
I can literally see that. I can see kids calling.
Like now, Olivia.
Yeah.
Olivia and Dad, they have just left. They've gone for a train trip. But I couldn't because I was doing this. But in the evening, they're like, oh, what are we going to do this evening? And then Brianna called me. She's in work and she say, oh, Mom, can you drive me to my friend's house in the evening? Something she couldn't have done 5 years ago. Because unaniambia nikupeleke mimi hata siyuko home. Hata si kama mmekula because I'm working. But these are all the things that we have been blessed so much to be and to have.
Yeah.
Just because we believed in ourselves, we saw an opportunity, we didn't let it slide off, and we gave it a go.
Now tukangangana. Gosh,
here we are.
I know.
Asante, that's such a good share. Priscilla, you on your end, how would you say, now that you've shared your life before starting a digital business, can you tell us a little bit about now your life now? Like currently, unaendelea aje sasa?
Well, I am happy because, let me say, because I have something that I can call my own, and I feel grown up when you have a website for yourself, you feel so grown up. You're like, oh my God,
You achieve
I have a
something.
website. Unaonanga, you used to see big companies are the ones, how
Yes.
ndio on a website. Lakini sasa wewe mwenyewe, you have your own. I was like, oh my God, I've grown up. I've really grown up.
Uh,
But it makes me feel satisfied because
yes.
as Betty said, we have to believe in ourselves. I think what I know is maybe when she told me about the business is maybe I didn't have much self belief, which Betty probably will say that's my she would say probably she doesn't understand what was wrong with me
Yeah.
because she knows me for so long and I was this confident girl in school. I was a prefect and all those things.
Yeah.
But you see, I think the situation was having to be put on a different scenario. This is social media. For me, I
Yeah.
knew social media ni ya kuangalia Betty anafanya nini, catching up with
Mhm.
friends, catching up with families. But then you come and realize you actually are stronger than you think.
Mm.
Betty realized that I'm strong, but me myself, I hadn't realized that I'm strong enough to do this. Yet I wanted a biashara for myself, but I didn't fight for it. I didn't reach for it. Yet Betty knew that, and she sent me all these. But then, that's probably the show that I needed. So
Mhm.
what I can say is I'm satisfied with myself, and
Yeah.
I've
Exactly.
learned how to, some things are not worth the fight.
Mm.
Being grateful. Some little tiny things that would annoy me, I've realized hakuna, siku hizi hakuna haja ya get annoyed about little things. It's not worth it. Especially now when you're grateful, unaamka asubuhi, unasema, I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I have something for myself. I'm
Mm.
grateful that I have a family. Because most of the time is we forget the small things that we have
Yeah. A lot of
and we
time.
think about all these problems here, left, right, and center. And then I can say that, as Betty said, having a family is
Yeah.
also another thing. All these people, almost 200,000 people that we have in our biashara, you feel like you're part of it, and you find people who share the same, problems, the same
Mm.
issues, the same challenges that you've always had, and you feel so good because you're not the only one in this world that is going through that. You have
And
a
you do
sister, you have a
together.
brother that you can share with. Look
Mm.
at us. Look at us. I mean, Betty and I knew each other, but then Priscilla, we didn't know each other. You didn't know Betty. But
Mhm.
through this, it's brought us together. It's
Yeah.
brought us that we actually sit down. Sometimes we share ideas to make each other better than we can.
What are your hopes for the future, Priscilla? Because I like hearing you. Yeah.
Mimi,
Mhm.
hiyo alarm clock mimi sitaki kuisikia tena.
Yes.
I want to be Betty in my future. Na mimi mambo ya kungoja ati 60. Mimi nini, mi hata sio 60. When I hit 40. Mimi nikifika
Yes.
40, mimi
Be out.
sitaki kuwa nimeajiriwa. Sitaki kuajiriwa tena. There is nothing. Mimi hiyo alarm clock in a new thing. And then let me tell you the worst thing is when you've been on maternity leave, like for me, I'm on maternity leave for a year.
Mm.
Imagine going back to work after a year. You are used to waking up at your own time. Because right now, thanks God, my baby is so calm. She sleeps through most of the whole night. And
Yeah.
then we wake up whenever she wakes up at 9 is the time I wake up. 9
Yeah.
unaamka saa ngapi? And I have to be in the office by 8.
Yes.
So my prayer is that by 40, for me, I want to be out. I want to be my own boss. I want to be my own person. I want to tell my husband, hiya, by the way, so you have leave in the office. Ebu chukua leave. We are going.
Twende.
Sitamwambia
Tunaenda.
tuende. We will go. I'm going to Bali.
Mm.
Yes. It's
We've been to
possible.
Fiji. We've been to
Eh,
Fiji, Priscilla. It's very
Tamfika tu
beautiful.
hizo 10 leave days mka even more
I
kwa
know,
sababu
not even that. He's always told me he wants to take me. Anataka kunipeleka Europe. We go and visit Betty.
yeah,
Yes.
You
Karibuni
know,
sana.
yeah, I want to be able to wake up today and say, let's go here.
and
Let's
yeah,
do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I don't want my children in childcare. That thing kills me because the moment is you take your children in childcare, somebody else is bringing them up, is watching their milestones when you're missing that. But I also want to be able to help other people. I love doing volunteer work. So the
Yes.
moment you're not being employed,
yeah,
Betty, I don't know if you ever did it with us, but I remember in my high school, every time we went on holiday, we went to do volunteer work at Nyumbani Children's Home, the one
I
for
think, yeah.
orphans.
once I joined you guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
once.
so we used to do it every term for the 4 years we were in high school. We used to go and
Yeah.
do volunteer work. So for me, I've always loved volunteering. So the moment you free up time, because our business, you can do it anytime, anywhere. I want to be able to give my time to people who need my time better. Volunteer in children's home, volunteer, go and give my teaching schools to, schools that need teachers, and
Yeah.
you don't expect a pay out of that. So
Hiyo
those
volume,
are my, yeah.
mnasikia
So
hiyo volume hapo ya mtoto?
no,
No,
it's
it's
all right.
fine. It's
It's
actually
fine.
it's
Okay.
soothing.
Yeah, it's fine.
I
That is
think you are loud,
that is
lakini
how we do our business. I mean, we work from home, so they're always around us. That's the
yeah.
beauty of it. Yeah, but those are my dreams and those are my prayers.
And you know what? Nini, you are listeners. You're out here on these pages on our socials. You follow us, so you will see it. By the time people are 40, you've had those declarations. Hatutakuwa tukiamkia alarm clocks, and
Mm-hmm.
also a dream. Hiyo ni dream hata yangu pia, kwa sababu hii maneno ya kushinda ukiifanyia watu kazi kwanza huku majuu, honestly it's very different. The fulfillment is just a little bit different, honestly. So taking back that time and making it your own, it is such a, and it is achievable. Watu wale tumeona wameachieve, na si mmoja ama wawili, lots and lots of people
Thousands.
the
Yeah.
same thing, and everyone replicating the same process and achieving the same thing. It tells you it is doable, because one of the things that we haven't mentioned, but maybe I can mention, is when you work with us, you get a mentor. We're all mentors, and you also get a coach. And a coach is someone who's been here longer, who has more experience, who's there to guide you. So if you
Mm.
have all that, na uko na system ya kureplicate, wapi utakosea? As in, where can you go wrong? Where can you go wrong? So mtu kama umekaa kwa hizi pages, umekaa kwa page ya Betty, umekaa kwa page ya Shiro, ama hapa kwangu Priscilla, na unajionea, you've been sitting, you've been watching, you've been listening, you need to just grab one of those web pages, websites, or talk to us, slide into our DMs na utulize, what is this business you're telling us about? Because if you feel you're facing the same challenges we've been talking about, you need to reach out, talk to us, and we guide you. That's our job. Our job is to guide you along and to share with you the knowledge we have, and to share access with the websites that we have, all that we do. Now I will join bandwagon, because why should you be watching us retire? Why should you be sitting there and watching Betty tell you about her life now versus 5 years ago, and you just sit there and think, oh, I wish that was me, I wish that was me. A few weeks back, we talked about self-sabotage, and I've noticed you've actually talked and you've mentioned that. Iyo kukosa kujiamini,
Mm.
thing about not
Yeah.
sitting there and waiting for someone and just feeling sorry and woye for yourself. There's no feeling guy woye for yourself here. It is you jump in, you find out these solutions, and you help yourself, because no one is coming to your rescue. Your job is to find these opportunities, and you rescue yourself, and you move on with life. Simple as that. I think one of the challenges I can share that we haven't talked about, for me, it was relief. Have you ever felt relief? And I think, Priscilla, it's the same reason. You know how you said having something for yourself? I think that
Mm.
might have been what was going on with me, because I just felt I don't have to rely on just one
Yeah.
person, or just what one person is telling me about the world, that, hey, here's your paycheck, full stop. I don't have to rely on just that. There was so much more I could do. Like, there was more to do to earn a living. I was like, my God,
Mm-hmm.
I felt empowered. I think that's the word. I felt empowered to a
Yeah.
point, even today, like I just said here at the beginning, even when childcare decides they can't give me a casual day, I'm like, all right. Before, I would probably have cried, felt bad, felt all sorts of emotion, hot feelings. But sometimes having something of your own inakupatianga tu
Yeah.
purpose.
Absolutely.
Inakupatia purpose, inakupatia hata motisha. Because then I found another solution. I was like, no, 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 I have to step up for my own business. And I found another solution. And I moved on with my life. And that was so awesome. Another thing that now I'm experiencing is learning new skills. Honestly, things I never knew. Me, I thought socials. I thought Facebook was just for scrolling. Na dai huwaga oru. You know, as a parent, I used to feel so guilty. I used to tell people, my drug of choice is Instagram. You know how you like one social over another.
Hmm.
Which one is your favorite, Betty? What's your favorite social? Like, which one are you addicted to? Kare ikara wao tu gashoko ho. Do you have any favorite?
I do. I quite a lot because I'm also on TikTok and everywhere.
Yeah.
But I always go back. I think because of this business, I have really done a big 360 turnaround on
Yes.
what do I listen to and all those things. But I
Yeah.
really like to listen to motivational speakers and
Yeah.
anything related to business. If I want to laugh, if I want
Yeah.
anything laughter-wise, I have a few comedians that I follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's just like you said, back in the day, we used to think Facebook is just like, hey, Priscilla Squeezy anafanyanga nini? Where does
Eh,
stuff like that? But now,
Yes, good morning.
it has given me the purpose.
yeah.
I'm very careful with what I listen to. You know, there are
Eh,
some things I could never watch on Facebook, especially when there is like a negativity and a bad vibe. I don't watch. But
Yeah.
anything good vibes and motivating and anything that I'm learning from, I'm good to go.
she know which one used to be your favorite social like before?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've never been a social person, but then I
Yeah.
think because I've used Facebook quite a lot, and
Yeah.
then my daughter introduced me to Instagram because these teenagers, they're the
Yeah.
ones who, in fact, right now she's like, Mom, maybe I can help you go to TikTok. She hasn't
Yeah.
convinced me yet, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Facebook, I've always used Facebook a lot. Not that yeah. So
But that used to be me. I think my drug of choice used to be Instagram, and I can't tell you anything I used to do on it, just to
Mm-hmm.
watch, scroll, like people's videos. But now I don't feel guilty because every time I'm on there, there is a purpose. You
Yeah.
know, you're viewing this, you're planning this, you're scheduling this, and I'm even on more socials than before. I used to hate on TikTok. Like I would be one of those people telling you all sort of bad things.
About
And now
TikTok.
I am, yeah, and I am there, and it's not even that bad. It's not even like super addictive as I thought it would be because you have a purpose. You enter, you do this job, you do this other job, and that's it. And you're done, and you're out, and you move on with your day. So yeah, here Shika, poleni, niko na katoto hapa kananisumbua. Sijui kanataka
it's all
kuonekana.
right. She just wants your attention. It's
She
fine.
does. Sana sana ni anasumbuliwa na anyway. Okay.
Singizi, because it's late.
Ndaguthaitha.
Mm.
So anyway, those are my two things about now. I have now that I have something of my own and learning new skills that include technology. Have we got any parting shots, ladies, that we could impart on our viewers? And I'll just go first and give you a chance. And for me, my parting shot is to just remember that nothing changes if nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're seeing us and you've been watching us and you're there and you're just seated on the edges of your seat and you're wondering what to do, what's the next step? Your next step is to reach out to any of the ladies here, register on their website, and get the information that you need from our websites. They're all there, self-automated. It will take you through the process and you learn about having a digital business of your own. You have your own something on the side, a side hustle for yourself. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you don't do anything, you won't achieve much. You will just be seeing us every Saturday and sitting there and wondering, why am I not, nothing changes if nothing changes. Priscilla, any parting shots for our viewers?
People need to stop making excuses. Excuses. When you want to do something, then you start giving yourself excuses. but that money you'll probably have used it for a better thing. Utaenda ununue an expensive shoe that you probably wear once or twice, and that's the end of it. So
Yeah.
stop making excuses. Watu wachukue action, do the good thing, do something good for yourself, and your future self will appreciate you.
Awesome. Asante sana. Betty, parting shot yako?
For me, it's always been faith over fear.
Okay.
Hands up. Like, nothing will change if you allow that fear to overpower you. You have to overcome it for you to see the change. Whatever it is that is holding you back, whatever it is that you're feeling, I am scared of this and that, that very thing that you're scared about, that very thing that you're shy about, that is actually your key. That is your way out to your destiny. So it's faith over fear, self-belief, you deserve this, you can do this, and everything that comes with this business, you can also have it. So it's faith over fear for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's watched us, who will watch us in the future. We're just here saying goodbye to you all, and we'll see you next time. Women
Yes.
in Business tuning out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.